The start of the journey.
The start of the journey thing. If I'm in Sunderland. What's out the stadium of White?
Park Lane's where we used to get our drugs.
Right.
In the Park Lane Bar.
Oh, right, aye.
It's called the Park Lane Bar. And the night we got arrested, that's where we bought them.
Oh, right.
The big bus go. So this is kind of quite ironic. That's where we bought all the acid.
Yeah.
We've got the stadium and you've got the beer with the folks on the team, and you've got St. James and we've got Walker Pier.
Sunderland, yeah. God's worth.
This was the Crow-Tree Inn, I'm absolutely certain.
Yeah.
It was the Crow-Tree Inn. And that's where we purchased all the LSD the night we all got arrested. Where we don't go arrested, it was my fucking gobshite telling the police where the arrested was, but I was out the head on LSD. I was just telling the truth. It's like a truth group, obviously. I bought all the acid in there, simply. And then we went in the park up there, but we'll go in the park the other direction. So if we walk down here, I'll show you a couple of things.
Right.
During my heyday, right, must have been 1972, that patch there, all night, well, maybe it's every day of the week, because people were either on the jam road or at school or whatever, right? And in the summer days, all the hippies would be on that bank, smoking drugs or out the heaving acid, and I'd be standing there pontificating them. The universe is one, blah blah blah. We're all part of the universe and all that business. And I was like a kind of Charles Manson stroke fucking Buddha, what's his name? Timothy Leary, right? A dangerous time to be. My head, you know, it was like, I could have went fucking mental. If we'd been living in the country, there's a good possibility I could have ended up like Charlie Manson, because I was very fucking influential. No joking. I'm not having on. It's scary when you think about it. It was kind of early days and the drug squad weren't that clued in on what was happening, right? But we started to get clued in and names came up, my name came up and various other people. And they fucking had us on the radar, bang, we're going to fucking get us, and they did. And at the other side of the park is where all the people got arrested, right? He was like a fucking absolute psycho lunatic guy. He was about 15 years older than us. He was like a real, he was like a kind of, he looked like a Hell's Angel, like beard and fucking denims and all that. And he had his entourage of lunatics, right? There's younger guys and similar, and they were all smoking dope in them days. But they used to bat the fuck out of people. They weren't peaceful hippies, right? And he was a bit of a Charles Manson fucking cult leader. They were psychos, right? And I was a bit of a cult leader as well. And I remember walking through here, and he had all of his followers and entourage on the ground. They knew me from when we used to go to the Londonderry dancing to Steely Dan and stuff like that. And he goes, because I'm called Gavin Stott, my real name, right? And he goes, Stotty, come here! And I came across him, yeah, Jimmy. And he says, tell these fucking cunts about Hare Krishna, right? Because I was into Hare Krishna's in them days, right? And I started telling them about Krishna, Hare Krishna and all that, because I'd been down the Krishna temple in London. And they were going, yeah, fucking cunt, man, you twat, and giving us a hard time. And he went, shut the fuck up and listen to fucking Stotty about Hare Krishna. That's funny, that, isn't it? So I was kind of preaching to them and all that business, because he must have had some kind of spiritualness in him, because he took a lot of acid and smoked a lot of drugs. He was obviously extremely violent. But he shut the fuck up and let Stotty tell you about fucking Harry Christian. So I was preaching to them all and I kept them out, which was quite... And that kind of was... I knew all the bad guys, you know what I mean, in Sunderland. So they never give us any hassle, the bad guys. The bikers and all that, we knew all these guys. So this is one of the parks we used to take our acid in and just look at the flowers and have a great time. Anyway, so across here, across this bridge and through, is the flat we used to live in. When I say a flat, it was a bit of a hovel. And this is where all the young people got arrested. Through me running about and shouting Hare Krishna. And the police saying, "What's your address?" And because I was an acid, I was just telling the truth. I told them the address and I said, "There's loads of people around there taking LSD, having a great time." So the police went down and arrested everybody. I was the most popular man in Sunderland.
So, was your assumption when you did this and told them all the names that they were going to go, "Hey man, let's get out these pig uniforms and have a great time"?
Yes. Yeah. In me kind of, in my imagination mode, I was just fucking out to the fucking box, you know what I mean? And I was just thinking, oh, the police would be around there dancing with them, you know what I mean? I didn't know. We used to just take, like, always two policemen. I'm getting paranoid. Is just probably two really strong ones.
Right.
And this particular night when we were arrested, very strong, called Orange Sunshine from California, or that's what they reckon, right? Probably made in Bradford, you know what I think?
You've only been here once?
Once. I visited with my mate. I get this kind of weird kind of feeling in my tummy. This was like fucking slums, doss houses. And now, look at private can't get in. The lock-ups and houses here, the doss houses.
That's good. I just think...
There was quite a few of us lived in the street. Look at it's like real kind of hippie kind of London type, isn't it? You know what I mean? And Ray McCormack used to live across there. He was a bullshitter. He's dead now. He fucking just was in his bed sitting and died about 5 years ago. Just broke me. He was a bullshitter. He was great, and he used to hang around with the Hare Krishna girls and all that, and go, "Oh, I'm a vegetarian." So he could shag them, right? And I'd go around his house and he'd get the fucking bacon out his secret cupboard and we'd have bacon sandwiches. We were in the basement. Right? And I shared it with Robin. Robin used to come and go. Bill was in there. Susan, my girlfriend.
Your hippie cult den.
Oh, this was the hippie cult den, yeah. This was kind of... when we got arrested, that brought me to the park. It was good, but it was fucking dangerous. So anyway, there was a man upstairs, and I think he was a magic guy. We used to call him Bad Vibes Billy or something. I can't remember. And he had a massive painting of Hendrix on the wall, and he was really horrible. When we were tripping him, we were really fucking freaked out. I mean, I was a bit of a hippie cult leader. I wasn't evil, you know what I mean? He seemed to be really evil. He lived upstairs, but we were in the basement. If I remember rightly, right, there was fences here, wooden fences. Yeah. And it was a DOS, and it was owned by a slum landlord called Water Property in Sunderland, right? And I think we paid fucking £4 a week rent, you know what I mean? It was just a fucking empty space, 3 rooms, empty space. And we were so cold in the winter, we burnt all the fence, we burnt all the wardrobes, and all the furniture there. We were sitting on fucking cheap carpets we bought at the junk shop. We had no furniture. We had a bed. We all used to get on the bed, all of us. And sometimes it wasn't like a sex orgy, because I wasn't into that. I was a bit shy, and so was a lot of my friends. We weren't always fucking each other. But we all used to get on the bed, because we knew where else to be. We used to lie in the bed, top and tail and all that, but fucking 10 of us in the bed. and it's been kind of chronological, is we bought the drugs, acid, at I can't remember what it's called, that pub that's now Legacy, I can't remember, whatever it was called, bought the drugs, right, and we took some, and we wandered around that park, which is brilliant, just took it out and all that, there must have been about 20 of us, right, and we all went in there, right, in our basement. I remember we had candles, no lamps. We had electricity, but it was more kind of housemaid. And I was with my girlfriend, Susan Leighton Calvert, and we were both dressed in white, like John Lennon in New York, but I was right into this, right? White, like flared looms and a white top, and she had like a long flowing white dress. My girlfriend, Susan Leighton Calvert, right? I had round us long hair, like Lennon, and she was like York walking, right? In the heat, right? And we're tripping in there and talking, right? And then I suddenly just went, fuck, I know the secret of the universe. We're all the cosmos. And I just went, fuck. And I started preaching to people going, this is what it is, man. And then people were going, fuck me, and everyone listening, and it was like, wow. And I turned to Susan and I went, we have to go and tell me mum and dad about this. And tell them how in love we are, and we're one with the universe, right? And you got to realise my mum and dad were in the 50s, probably, or late 40s, just fucking square people, right? Really squares. And this was in October, and it wasn't very warm. And I got in my head, we had to go along and tell them that we were in love, and the universe was warm, and everything was great. So I searched around for a pair of boots, right, to put on, but it was a bit cold outside, October, right, and I only found one boot. This is fucking crazy. I put one kind of high-heeled cowboy boot on, right, and I only had one boot. We came out here, we got this and one boot, and I went, let's go along and see me mum and dad, right, let's go along and see me mum and dad. Hare Krishna, out in the street, and the two of us, Hare Krishna. We walked down here onto the main road, and when we got to the main road, we both rolling about the floor, right? Hare Krishna. And the police came along, fucking flashing lights, and they just thought we were drunk, because this was early days when they were quite naive, the cops, they weren't really clued in what was happening, and they just thought we were drunk. So we kind of, they told us to get up and get on our way, and then I walked with my mum and dad's with Susan. I'll tell you the rest. Talking about the floor. I remember. We talked 40 odd years ago, probably. Remember we were rolling about the floor there because we're just out of our fucking brains.
Did you try and explain the meaning of the universe to them?
No, never did that. Don't know why, never did. But I think a bit of paranoia was kicking in. We knew there was the police. We knew it was real. We knew it wouldn't be a fucking good idea to get busted, you know what I mean? But I'll show you something over here. I was a bad influence on some people, right?
Yeah.
What happened was I've just moved back from London, probably 1970, something like that. I was hanging around with some mates, but loads of acid bar, and I was a crazy guy, right? And the Mecca ballroom down there, which is now where the Stadium Light is, where I used to go and see bands, I bumped into a really decent guy called, and he was just outside of town, and his mate Robin, and a couple of them just regular kind of part-time hippies, right? And they had a flat, a little bit down like that, and I weaseled my way in, right? And then from like a reasonable flat, all my mates came out the bands, all that, going crazy. And from living in a nice environment like that, I convinced them to move to that fucking DOS house, yes? With new fucking furniture and burning the fucking... So, I was a bad influence. When we got arrested, me and Susan were rolling about and that shit, he was in the flat with Robin and all the rest of them. Bill. And Susan was just me. When we went to court and all that, his dad was fucking daggers. His dad, where they filmed, like they put like Bathgate, it's a colliery village, right? Called, I can't remember what it's called, whatever it's called. And his dad was a miner, and Metro Minor, and his dad was fucking eyeballing. He always accused me of corrupting his son Billy. I probably did in actual fact. But Billy had his own mind. He was quite a fucking sus guy, you know what I mean? But his dad fucking hated me and blamed me till the day he died. He's dead now. That I was responsible for fucking his son's life up. It was Susan. This is where I met Susan. About 17, around about that point. And then she fucked off to St Ives and got knocked up by a guy and had a kid. And he's in Durham now, serving the time for robbing safes. He was a safe robber. So I dodged the bullet there, I think. I dodged the bullet with Susan. I've seen Susan about 6-7 years ago. She's still gorgeous. I was your son. She's always in Durham. Same time. He's a bank robber or a safe robber or something like that. Right, you know what I said? At least he's got a trade. Usually going down here to see me mum and dad, because my dad was a school caretaker at St Edmunds Grammar School, a big grammar school, around the corner. Just regular square people. It was Saturday night. It wasn't that late. It was about 11 or something like that, because the mad party, the LSD party, tea time, maybe it's 9 o'clock, and we probably left. It was probably 11 at night. Just square people sitting watching the telly. Son comes banging on the door. My dad's first went out. When he opened the door, he said, "Is she pregnant?" That was the first thing he said, which is a bit judgmental.
If only you knew the news was worse than that.
Brushed past him into the house. Hare Krishna. My mum's going, he's gone mad, he's possessed by the devil. And I had really long hair, round glasses. And Susan's running around the house, right? And this is funny. Some people didn't believe me, but this is absolutely fucking stone cold true. I was wearing these white trousers called loons, right? They used to sell them in Carnaby Street and all that. And they were American naval trousers. And they're buttoned up like that. You unfasten all the buttons to go to the toilet. I think they were original naval trousers. So they go like that. And I couldn't operate them properly because I was out of the fucking brains. So I took Susan into the toilet so I could get a piss, right? And once I got the genitals out and I'm with a female woman, we're fucking trying to shag on the floor in the bathroom. bathroom toilet. Trying to fuck, right? I'm just a young man, I'm 22, she's a fucking gorgeous young lassie, right? And my mum and dad came in and went, "What's going on here?" And my mum threw a bucket of water over us like two dogs, you know? To separate us, right? Susan fucking freaked, just ran out the house, left me and mum and dad, left them. I'm running about the house going, "Hare Krishna, I am God, I am the devil, I am one with the universe." And my mum was going, "Hold him down, I'm going to cut his hair. If we cut his hair, he's possessed by the devil." Because she thought, if you cut my hair, because I was a crazy hippie, I'm going to lose all my power. And I'm going, "I fucking hate you," and all that shit. I mean, that's scary stuff to do to your square parents. I did apologise to them like 30 years later. I went round the house and really sat down and said, "Listen, from my heart, I was out and I was a fuckwit," you know what I mean? This is the house, which me and Susan came up and told me mum and dad we were so in love and we were one with the universe, and they should know about this. It just seems so logical to tell them that we were in love and we were one with the universe, and they were as well. My poor mum, square mum and dad, 11 o'clock at night, Saturday night, in this house, mind their own fucking business, right? That was my old bedroom there, that window there. This modern bit at the back used to be our old kitchen, they've all jazzed that up. Anyway, so knocks on that front door, dad answers the door, "Is she pregnant?" Pushes past him, so I'm in the house, that's where it's all going on. And Susan fucks off along here, soaking wet, after the bucket incident in the toilet. She fucks off along here. And there was a gate, a big school double gate there.
Right.
And I had a long uni scarf on for some reason, some very pretentious cunt, some kind of university scarf on. And my dad was freaking out because I was going, "Wah!" And we came out and he fastened us with his scarf like that to the fence to restrain me So I'm running all off my fucking head, going, "Rah!" He restrained us, right? And as I was talking to him, right, he was going, "Rah!" And all the things were going through my head of how many times he'd smacked us when I was a boy. Not in an evil, battering way, because I was a little cunt, and I deserved it, right? And I remember I got one hand free, I punched him straight in the fucking mouth. Smacked him right in the mouth, which I feel fucking ashamed of. But at the time, it seemed justified. All the things in my head, when he'd smacked us as a boy, and you want to get your hair cut and all that, I felt depressed, right? But I was a cunt. But I smacked him right in the mouth, and I feel really bad about that. That's why I did it in my own dad. Anyway, so what happened was, I got away from the restraints, and I ran on there, and he ran after us. Fucking after us, come back, son, come back. And he must have been a good guy, because you know what he did? He grabbed us and put us over his shoulders, like, you know, like a fireman, because he was a fucking strong guy, me dad, right? And he was carrying us back, bringing his son back to restrain him, right? And the police that had seen me and Susan rolling about the floor were patrolling along, right? And they stopped and went like, "What's the story?" And we thought, "Oh, my son's irrational, blah, blah, blah." So they came back to my house, and I'm going, "I am Jesus, I am God, I am the devil." And then I must have phoned on the phoning machine, and a kind of ambulance stroke police vehicle arrived on a stretcher, and they fucking restrained us on a stretcher. Restrained us on a stretcher and put us in the back. I can laugh now, but it was fucking horrible, right? And they drove us to the fucking hospital to get assessed, right? And put us in the hospital. I'm lying in this white bed, and there's like lights above us, big lights, and I'm hallucinating fucking Tom and Jerry cartoons and all that business. And then just then, the fucking drug squad come in. Drug squad come in and go, "Are you Gavin Stott?" "Oh, no, I've missed a bit out." It might have been, I can't remember, there was some point the drug squad says, "Have you been taking LSD?" I was going, "Yeah, LSD is great, it's fantastic." So what's your address? And I'm going, 23 Park Place West. And they're going, "What's happening there?" I said, "It's a big LSD party, it's fantastic, it's great." So they just left me in the hospital, went down and in full squad of police, fucking door, smashed down, and all the hippies there, Hare Krishna in front of all the candles and all that, and like the fucking stormtroopers, they shit themselves, fucking the police. And that was me. I'm the most popular guy in town. Anyway, so cutting back to this, the same police were patrolling. They saw me and Susan rolling about the floor, and then bang, that's me. And then the police said, "Were you on LSD?" And I went, "Yeah." So they said, I got done for possession because it was in my system, which is fucking bullshit. Today, if you got a lawyer, you'd get off on that, right? They said, "You must have possessed it to be on it." So I got done for fucking possession, even though we never actually had any, right? But on a technicality. And they were going to pull us away in fucking Durham for 5 years, bang. And it took us 40 years in a whole circle to be a decent musician, write songs. And I'm writing songs about them days and stuff. That's weird. Anyway, so that's about it really. It's non-chronological at this point, but that's the only acid, one of the acid stories, right? That's the biggest and best one, that, right? So that's basically it. That was good fun.
But I've been around the world in a pet. They count it's a nightmare, regional divide. I said I'm the Geordie that told me to fuck off. You reckon, step aside. With a mix of the pain and wind. We've got St. James, we've got broken pin. With the bolts of the pain and wind. We've got the stadium and you've got the beer. They both go to war to fight a common foe and stand like brothers through the fray. I'd give up me life for that Mackin by me side. Well, that Geordie